Will Rogers once said, somebody asked him about land, and he said, well, they just don't make much of it anymore. And we need to, the Lord intends for us to be good stewards of what he gave us, and we did a terrible job here. We did a terrible job.
Knew nothing about Pitcher. I'd spent half of a football game in Pitcher, Oklahoma back in 1984. It was dark, didn't have the opportunity to appreciate the scenic view that the Pitcher offers with the chat piles. So I knew nothing really about Pitcher at all. It became obvious fairly quickly to me that, we had a higher percentage of kids that demonstrated more difficulty in the classroom. Super kids, but they struggled.
We knew we had some problems with the kids out there.
Little Chad, I kind of hesitate to delve into it and talk that much about it because well, he is our son, and we want him to be as normal as anybody else's kids, He has problems.
I said, well, you need to come down here and see what we've got. And I said, it'll blow your mind. So they run up here and took a bunch of blood samples from these Quapaw Indian children. And man, they found high lead counts. That's when it started, right there. But see, they would never come in here and check the kids in Pitcher. The health department would, Oklahoma. But then they started checking and they found a monster.
That old white line, boys, is coming to an end.
And so we actually went door to door in the mining communities and knocked on doors and found out how many people had children 6 and under, and could we do lead testing on those children. And we tested a little over 100 kids and found out that 43% of those kids had elevated blood leads. So the extent of that was really shocking.
And the EPA came and did a risk assessment, human health risk assessment, as well as finally did a record of decision. And they felt like the primary risk or primary pathway was through dirt. And some of the yards tested very high in terms of lead toxicity. When you think about where kids get lead, they're really at increased risk for a couple of reasons. One is a child absorbs more lead through the gut than an adult does, about 50% more. But with pediatric lead toxicity, it causes what we call developmental issues. It's only of importance between 0 and 6 years of age, and it affects the developing neurologic system, mostly what we consider to be soft neurologic signs, school issues more than medical issues. So that's really the difference. The trouble is you can't ever make that go away. Once it occurs, it's permanent.